Hey everybody, welcome back to Going Medieval and the Village of Wild. So when we last left off, we were in the process of getting the underground housing units completed, and I've gone ahead and done so. As you can see here, we have more than enough for many more settlers that will be coming in. In fact, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 total rooms for people to live in. And right now we are looking at getting the commercial side, or basically all the crafting and basically the important things that need to be created and done. And we also were talking about storage before as well. Now it's already winter. Obviously I've played ahead a little bit in order to get these things done. And as you can see here, I've started the process of building our defensive tower. This is where I'm going to place it. Right now, it's basically just at this point, just to get the footprint going. But this is where we're going to basically build up a tower so that eventually all these buildings here, at least as much as we can, are going to be eliminated for all intents and purposes. Now, we're still going to keep walls. We're not going to get rid of walls. We're still going to defend at that point, but at least we have a way to fall back into a tower. Another thing I did was I researched terraforming, which I also mentioned in the past. I've already started putting down the blueprints, or the layout really, for getting the soil walls, if you will, placed so that we can eliminate these wood barriers here. And it's not like it changes too much in terms of our defensive capability. It's just basically expanding out the area for us a little bit so that we have room to grow out if we need to, and still use obviously the land itself on the surface. Not much has changed beyond that. I try to keep it as minimal as possible. Really the only other thing would be these ice bricks or blocks being created finally. Now, we're going to need to change how we ferment, because at this point we're sharing the same room with our food, which we need to deviate from at this point, because the ice blocks are going to reduce the ability for fermentation, which in this case, as you can see, it's never going to ferment in this room because it's too cold. So we need to also move this over, and this is where the storage room stuff comes in. So let's plan that out. Now, we're going to keep this blocked off, essentially, that there's no way that you're going to be able to access this area other than through here. And I want to keep it like that because it just eliminates possibility. Let's say invaders get down here somehow. It eliminates the possibility of them creeping into the next section easily. But we do need to dig out our tunnel. And as you can probably very plainly see, I've moved my camera to a center position. I also have a new camera, so hopefully it looks a lot better. But I'm trying to make it so you could see what I'm actually clicking down here finally. Now, what I discussed before is basically digging this out and then making this whole area over here our crafting or commercial, what have you, side, which is still what we're going to do. Now, I'm thinking, let's give a little overhand here. It's probably going to be best that we section off, so we still have, you know, a little tunnel or hallway, really. But I want to basically section out a crafting area. And then over here, I wanted to do storage. The only thing I'm worried about is making sure when we do storage, we have to do it methodically so we don't have our, for lack of a better term, our ceiling or our surface soil falling in on us, which actually did happen over here. Now, you obviously can't see it because I fixed it because I have terraforming and I was able to put the soil back after we built this wall. But the soil fell through right here because there was just there was nothing securing it and in place at that point. So we kind of have an idea of what it'll do if we ever get to that point, and it straight up falls out. So let's start with the crafting area. And I'm thinking this is a nice central point that we could use. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 wide. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. All right, there we go. So this could be the beginning of that area. And this should, after we dig all of this out and get this part done, we should be able to just start expanding out, etc. So let's get this dug and start considering how we're going to do the absolute layout of the crafting area. So I will see you once that is complete. All right, everyone. So as you can see, we have gotten through this area here. We've dug through. I've actually started the beginnings of the entrance for the crafting area. And I've also dug a little bit further. What I'm thinking here is that this area is going to be the main entrance to the storage hall. So I'm actually going to do that there, and that'll be the main entrance for that. And I'll probably design it in the same way that this is designed. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. Okay, so I need to do, pause that. I have 3 here. That's gonna make it funky, isn't it? So what if I do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should look a little bit better. So let's expand that just slightly. That'll look better. Okay. The hall is going to be huge, so having a larger entrance anyway makes sense to me. So that'll be fine. What I've gone ahead and done is I've built a reinforced door here leading down from this area here, because again, we're thinking of what are the access points that raiders could have. So we've obviously blocked off the main ones on the outside for our walls and have, you know, defensible positions around them, etc. We have actually finished the soil walls, if you will, up over here. And what we're going to do here as well is block off their access on the tower aspect of it here as well, with reinforced doors on these 2 access points here, so that, again, how I was saying, I don't want to build a pathway through here to make it easier to get around. This is probably going to be the most protected spot because we want our settlers to have a place to live first and foremost. Everything else can be remade, but it's a lot more difficult if your settlers have to sleep in poor conditions, essentially. Makes things just more difficult. So I'm focusing on that as the most protected area here, which that is now the truth with all this reinforced stuff here. I forgot one little bit of brick wall there. So there we go. That's going to even that out. Now, what I'm thinking along with the storage area, what I'm thinking is basically making, and this is just going to be a rough layout. So this is going to be like the main hallway leading in, but it'll expand out probably similar to that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, there we go. So, rough guideline on what this will look like to begin with. You know, this is not final by any means, so we can assume that this crafting space will be this large. As we add more stations, etc., obviously have more people, there's going to be need for more things to be made at once. This could always expand further out. But in order for us to actually fulfill this, we need to be, like I mentioned before, pretty methodical. So we're going to cancel all that. This will just be basic main entrance plus the outline of the entire area. And then I need to consider, how am I going to structurally secure this area? Now, the best way to do it obviously is to create pillars and then add arches between each pillar. What the best way to do that is, I don't frankly know exactly. Again, I'm not terribly well versed on how you know, how much space between what equals less structural soundness, which equals falling soil roofs, but this is how I'm basically going to start it. So if we dig in this far and then build a pillar there, and then dig in this far and build a pillar there, we should be able to then dig in between and add our arch and then move forward. Because this outline here, this is going to be a wall. So I could build an arch here too. And then I could do the same. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many deep are we here? 3. 1, 2, 3. So I could actually go there, cancel that one. I think that makes it even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So that makes that even. That's good. So we can dig there. And then same thing on the other side. 3, 4. And then boom. And there we are. So once we get these pillars up, we'll start digging through here, which obviously is going to make us dig like this. We'll have to basically dig here and then over. But we'll start with this. We'll make a pillar at the end of each point here for us to actually put our, you know, our arches in. And then that way, I think we'll be okay. I could be wrong, and we'll find out. Thankfully, I don't think we're worried about this point right here, where obviously our farming is. I don't think it's going to fall through at this point, but at least we'll know over here. We'll absolutely know over here whether or not this is going to be, you know, structurally unsafe. So it's kind of cool to see it like this when it's darker. On these points here, you can see exactly where we're digging out, but that's where we're going to start. And this will be basically for all the stuff that's currently sitting here, and obviously our kitchen, etc. Though I'm thinking it might be smarter to maybe make a separate kitchen area altogether, because we're going to want to have food storage be, you know, obviously colder. Having the food storage closer to the kitchen makes the most sense to me. We'll figure that out, but we're going to start with this for now. So let's get this dug out and at least get the preliminary pillars up, and then we could talk about what we're looking at moving forward. So I'll see you here in just a second. All right, everyone. So we're not done at all with our underground crafting area at this point, because we're being raided by the Ravagers. So they are bringing 2 archers, 4 fierce marauders, 4 marauders, and finally, movable trebuchets. So let's get this settled. Let's see where they're even attacking from. So they're attacking from... Okay. So they're across the water there. They're not going to be able to move the trebuchets closer. So the farthest they're going to be able to attack, I believe, is going to be this. Our little temple / church in the same building, but they will probably and very likely try to attack the walls here. But let's get everyone drafted and heading over here. Now we want the archers. I really wish we had more archers, to be honest. Having only 4 at the moment is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. We'll just get everyone moved over here. I really don't like that when you click on someone, it brings you right to them without double clicking. We'll do that. See how that pans out, since they're all going to have to walk through here. Let's speed it up just a little bit, and we can watch and see what they do with the trebuchets themselves. All right. So they're attacking here. And for whatever reason, they're attacking right there. I don't know why. That's not going to do anything. It is going to do something here, assuming they actually hit. Let's see what happens here. We want to see what those red circles are to find out where they're actually using the trebuchets at. So we're going to go to speed 1, just because it'll make it easier to find out where they're shooting those trebuchets. Let's have you... Actually, first, let's have you stand over here. This will be easier if you're standing here. Fire at him first. But, I want you to go there. Alright, yep, go for the Fierce Marauder. Okay, so they're literally attacking the same spot here, which they could very well hit one of our... Oof, that's really scary. They could literally hit one of our people and they will die. So let's have you go here. Let's hope that that trebuchet misses, which it looks like it did. Not even sure where the other one's shooting at. We essentially want to attack the people that are attacking the door. You can attack him. Actually, no. We gotta kill these archers. Alright, there's one dead. Let's kill him. Oh, that scared me. It said Archer Thaburga died. We have a Thaburga and she's also an archer, but she's not dead. Oof. Alright, so all their archers are dead. They can only attack one at a time. And I can't tell. It looks like they've just given up on firing the trebuchets. Oh, no, they haven't. Okay. Hoping that we'll kill all their people before they're able to actually do anything. Kill the guy attacking the door. Where is their trebuchet firing at? They fired them, but I don't know. Not seeing any significant structural damage anywhere. All right, now it's just a free-for-all. All right, get Tudhelm. Oh yeah, this should be endgame right here. Once Jordan dies, that's it. They'll leave. Is that dude? He's naked. He came very unprepared. All right, there it is, everyone. The beleaguered settlers came under attack in the winter of 1354. Their ordeal continued for 2 hours and 26 minutes. Mercifully, all settlers survived the raid. 8 sworn enemies died during the fight. Otterbricks was the bravest of the settlers, dealing the most blows to the foe. Henrik Montgomery took the most damage from the enemy, thinking only of defending Wild in its hour of need. Pretty awesome. I'm very glad that that panned out. Now let's pause here. Let's do that as well so we can grab whatever we want there. But Henrik is the only one that took damage, and he barely took damage, which is amazing. Trebuchets, they're gone. I think they disappear instantaneously, and then these guys just leave. But yeah, we managed to defend quite well. This panned out very, very well for us. They couldn't even get through the door. And it still has over half of its hit points remaining, so we'll get that repaired, obviously. This tree being right here is just silly, so let's just chop that down. But yeah, we did a very good job defending. Everything panned out exactly as necessary. They're gonna repair all the walls that were damaged by the trebuchet. I don't think anything was damaged in the overland village here. Obviously underground, they're not gonna touch anything, which is also another reason why underground is really important, at least for now. We can build a castle. We will eventually build a castle. We can do all that. It'll be nice and cool. But for now, this is the smart play while we gather up more settlers, etc. But once we're more prepared for trebuchets and, you know, we have a more steady amount of people that can build and craft and all that at the same time, We will, like I said, we're still going to do a castle and everything up top, but for now, we're just going to continue on with what we're doing, and I will see you once this is completed. All right, so we have a new settler coming in, Penwolf. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. And it doesn't look like he's coming with any trouble at all. So he's just a new guy who wants to help out and join Wild. So that's pretty awesome. Let's take a look and see what he can do. So he is fantastic for botany. That is amazing. You are definitely harvesting and cutting and growing. 100%. That's what your main job's going to be by far. You're good at melee. You're decent at mining. You're great at speechcraft. Perfect. You love tailoring and you're terrible at it. All right. Well, we already have a tailor, Thaberga, and she's pretty good at it. So we'll have you do crafting as a secondary. You're not very smart, even though that's your favorite. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. I was gonna do that. You can use marksman. I think even though his melee is higher by a bit, I think I am gonna make him a marksman, to be honest, just because we really need some more marksmen, unfortunately. I think that's fine there. All right, perfect. So we just need to make sure that he does that. No shields. All headgear. Winter for now. Perfect. All right, so we have a new settler, like I said, and we need to build a bed for him. Let's get that in there. Perfect. We'll turn that bad boy on. And you know what? We'll make you prioritize that. Cannot start construction. Oh my God. Okay. Well, apparently he can't construct. He's going to harvest an animal. Oh boy. All right. Well, that's good. So with him, we actually have the ability to make herbs, which is really, really good. Don't have to really worry about it right just this moment. Got a lot of herbs here. Do we have herb seeds? Yes, we do. Perfect. All right, it looks like someone's already doing it for us. Perfect. We are very, very close to finishing the crafting area. As you can see here, I'm just finishing out the digging. That's essentially it, and everything should be good. There should be no surface soil falling through. This should cover everything. I did forget to do that though. Let's just do that. Make sure it's even. And then we can start moving all the crafting stations in. So that shouldn't take too much longer, thankfully, and we'll meet up once we start moving those in. All right, everyone. So this is now cleared out, and it looks like, unfortunately, that there was one singular spot that supposedly was not secure enough. So I'm actually, you know, I was about to do this. Come to think of it, I don't know if that's actually the best decision. So let's try this real quick. Let's get rid of these, and we'll do a beam across here and then try to fill in the soil again. That is the only spot out of the entire area. This one spot is the only one that fell through, which is unfortunate because it's kind of an annoying spot. But now we have the ability to move all these stations. So let's relocate this. Down here. We can relocate this guy. I'm gonna try to keep things together. So we'll put you there. Ooh, sheep. Ooh. Can we bring that sheep in? Assuming it'll come to our... Yeah, it's got to. Alright, anyway. So let's get these stations moved over still. Oops, that's a wall torch. There we go. Let's relocate that. Perfect. Now, she was currently tailoring. I think it's probably best that we let her finish that. And then we'll move that station. And then we can essentially kind of reclaim the space here. Now, granted, we're not going to be able to really move these stations here, excuse me, because they need to have outdoor access in terms of like air, because obviously if things are burning underground without any ventilation, you will die. So we don't want that to happen, obviously, to anybody. What we're going to do, though, is I'm thinking it might not be a bad idea to maybe branch off of this area here. We don't want to impede with our growing spot, which is like roughly right here. But we could... It's kind of tough because we want to keep it over on this side, but we don't want to interrupt anything that's on the surface. We could honestly try to move it maybe around here. I mean, this could work. So essentially what we would do, I believe we have it. Yeah. So these metal grated platforms, essentially. So it lets sunlight through, rain and snow can fall through, but it prevents hailstones from getting through. So this is actually also probably a really good idea to build over our plants. That way we can get sunlight and rain and stop any hail that might destroy them, as, you know, if it hails. But right now we're going to look at using them as a means of allowing underground, technically, stations that require air. So that could be a possibility. But right now we're going to work on just, you know, getting the crafting and everything set up here. All right. You're essentially done. Let's relocate you. So let's move you to here. What was this again? Oh no, let's cancel that. Let's go back. Oh, now he's in the process. All right, let's because we're gonna have armory and all that stuff, so let's have you over here, I guess. Now I know there's, let's see, how much wood do we have? 718 wood. We should probably build flooring for this area. I thought I told it to build that. There we go. So yeah, we need flooring. So let's get this in here. Gonna use a lot of wood. So we'll need to be cutting a lot more trees. Thankfully, we've got plenty to cut around here. Plenty, plenty, plenty. we'll do... And you know, we have run out of clay. We had a lot of clay too, but we've run out of it because, well, we've been making lots of bricks. So one thing we can also do is clear out all that. So you don't need to be digging right this moment. It's, you know, it's going to be baby steps anyway for getting the storage up, because we're going to need obviously more clay bricks in order to build our storage, unless, you know, we go the wood route, which I kind of like having the clay bricks, to be quite honest. I think it looks a lot nicer, so I think we're going to stick with that. But we definitely need it regardless of what we're doing, because as we expand, we're going to need many more bricks, etc. Now, one thing that I unfortunately have done, but I can technically remedy, as you can see here, there's plenty of rocky soil where we can get limestone from around our area here. Now, thankfully, because we've dug so much, we have 5,000 dirt. The main thing is when we're digging these limestone patches, rocky soil, I should say, it's not direct limestone, but when we're digging these, we need to make sure that we're filling them back up with dirt as we eliminate the spot, or else we end up causing, you know, holes in the ceiling, essentially, for our settlers here. And we don't want that to happen, because we don't want it to get too cold in their room. Now, right now, it's outside around between 39 and 47 degrees, you know, depending on the time of day. Inside, however, is a very comfortable 71. And this is with the brazier being on, obviously. But we will be turning those off soon. Soon as summer rolls around, we're going to get all the clothes switched to summer. We're going to make sure that all the braziers are off, windows are open, etc. We don't want people to be cooking inside their rooms, essentially. So, because they will suffer from heat. They don't necessarily only suffer from cold when it's cold. They will suffer from heat for sure. Now, as it stands, we are really running low on hay, which is not good. And unfortunately, I didn't realize this, but I had it making ale, and I thought if I set it to an amount, but it was continuously making ale. I thought that was a one-time thing. So unfortunately, we have run out of barley to grow. We only have these two. So we're essentially going to have to use these two as a means of growing more barley as time goes on. I can try to find it, you know, in a natural state in the world, which I actually did find a lot of it before, and I got a bunch of hay from, but unfortunately, it was used to make ale, unbeknownst to me until recently. But I'm just panning through, making sure I'm not missing any barley that might be growing in the world. It will randomly pop up, thankfully. I just got to find it. But right now, our only bet is waiting for it to grow naturally, or if a merchant comes in with barley, which would be honestly really ideal, because we have a ton of beeswax that we could sell back to the merchants. So we did that actually earlier. We bought some random goods that we needed, and we also ended up, let's see if I can find it here. There it is, a cartography table. I haven't placed it yet because I just don't have a place where I really want to put it, but we will figure that out. All right, cool, that's up. Let's get this dirt in and see if it works out. Can't play it too fair. Oh, wow, too far from stable structure. Interesting. Why here? That seems very odd. What happens if I do this? Will it consider that a stable structure there? It must be because of this. I mean, I frankly don't know, because what's going on here? Why isn't any of this falling through? That's the only part that I don't understand very well about this, is what it considers a stable structure. So I guess we'll get that part figured out. But I think we're looking pretty good so far. We just got to get this wood cut and wood flooring put down. And then we'll have a nice crafting hall, essentially. And then we can work on our massive storage zone, which hopefully won't be messed up from this. But I guess we'll see there as well, seeing as how this has fallen through. Even though, yeah, I don't know. Something to figure out. Looks like this is almost about to be done, and then hopefully they'll be able to move that over. But yeah, I think we're actually in a good spot. We've accomplished quite a bit today, and a lot of things have been completed here, and we're moving forward with our underground village. Soon we'll be able to take these buildings down, obviously moving the storage, etc. The final goal is really to only have the absolute most necessary buildings on the surface and then everything else underground. And then we could start building our castle, etc. And then basically what I'm thinking in my mind is having the castle as the main surface anything, aside from obviously farms. You can't, I guess you can grow underground, but it's not ideal. We could try it, but we won't do that just yet. We're still going to stick with what we have over here. So like I said, what I really want to do is get as much as I can underground, build a castle so we have a big castle on the surface, and then go from there. But yeah, for now, we're just going to end today's session here. And like I said, we are moving forward with our plans. So if you liked the video, obviously give me a like. If you want to continue watching the series, subscribe, of course, and then let me know in the comments how I'm doing and what you think I should do for the playthrough here. And yeah, we'll see what we're doing going forward, but I'll see you on the next one. So thanks again for watching, guys. Bye-bye.